those who would call real-time analytics as sub-milliseconds and those who would call real-time analytics as 30 minutes and even an hour. It's all relative to what's not real-time in your system. So I thought that I will start with kind of talking about, kind of putting some order, at least in terminology, of what real-time analytics looks like, at least what's the common terminology that I think would apply to most of those definitions. And also I'll show two examples of two different approaches of unknown names in the industry, Facebook and Twitter, and show what the approach that they've taken to build their own real-time analytics, which is different. Then we'll dive into the Twitter approach, which is Storm, and kind of from there take a deep dive into Storm, see a demo and so forth, and hopefully that will be kind of an interactive discussion. So with that, I'll kind of start to keep the presentation here. So the idea of real-time analytics is, again, very quickly, is something that, you know, to put it very simply, almost any application today, especially when you think about a SaaS business or Google search engine or any application, now need to think in terms of real-time and are embedding it. So I hopefully don't need to convince you that it becomes more of a mainstream than something that is a niche. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. The other aspect that I wanted to kind of cover is usually when we're talking about big data on volume and on velocity, the context in real time is that most people think about real time.
Is your mic on?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
No.
I was turning it up.
Yeah. Forgot it. Typically. So the okay. So when we're talking about real time, most people refer to real time as a latency property, meaning how fast I can push data and read it. But real time also means speed, meaning that I have a big volume and how fast I can deal with that volume. In a batch context, part of the reasons why people switched, including Twitter, to real time is because they run out of the window of time of 24 hours a day. So if you have a batch system that exceeds that time, obviously you have to think differently, and in that case the real time means faster batch, and not necessarily real time in terms of latency, which is also real time. Okay? So that's the purpose for this slide. The other thing that is important is what is the, again, common ground to describe how analytic systems can be described in a way that